Good evening. Welcome to Preaching the Gospel. Good evening. Welcome to Preaching the Gospel Ministry Church. Today we're going live via Spreaker on the internet, and we're recording for YouTube. We know times are short, and we talked about the end times in the past, and this one's actually going to be no exception. But we usually we always read in Matthew 24. Instead, this time, we're going to go into Mark chapter 13 and see if anything's different. Verse 5, And Jesus answering them began to say, Take heed lest any man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And when ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, be ye not troubled, for such things must needs be, but the end shall not be yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be earthquakes in divers places, and there shall be famines and troubles. Those are the beginnings of sorrows. But take heed to yourselves, for they shall deliver you up to councils, and in the synagogues ye shall be beaten, and ye shall be brought before rulers and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them. And the gospel must first be published among all nations. But when they shall lead you and deliver you up, take no thought beforehand what ye shall speak, neither do you premeditate, but whatsoever shall be given you in that hour, that speak ye. For it is not ye that speak, but the Holy Ghost. Now the brother shall betray brother to death, and the father the son. The children shall rise up against their parents, and shall cause them to be put to death. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. But when ye shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet standing where it ought not, let him that readeth understand. Then let them that be in Judea flee to the mountains, and let him that is on the housetop not go down into the house, neither enter therein to take anything of his house. And let him that is in the field not turn back again for to take up his garment. But woe to them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. And pray ye that your flight be not in the winter. But in those days shall be affliction, such as not was from the beginning of the creation, which God created unto this time, neither shall be. And except that the Lord hath shortened those days, no flesh should be saved, but for the elect's sake, whom he hath chosen, he hath shortened those days. And then if any man shall say unto you, Lo, here is Christ, or Lo, here he is, believe him not. For false Christs and false prophets shall rise, and shall shew signs and wonders to seduce, if it were possible, even the elect. But take ye heed, behold, I have foretold you all these things. But in those days after that tribulation, the sun shall be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light. And the stars of heaven shall fall, and the powers that are in heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in the clouds with great power and glory. And then shall he send his angels, and shall gather them together, his elect from the four winds, from the uttermost part of the earth to the uttermost part of heaven. Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When her branch is yet tender, and putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is near. So ye in like manner, when ye shall see these things come to pass, know that it is nigh, even at the doors. For verily I say unto you, that this generation shall not pass till all these things be done. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. Now this is Jesus talking. Jesus is telling the disciples, telling all the people around about the end times. When the world's going to end, they're asking them, what's going to happen? He's telling them, there's going to be wars. You're going to hear rumors of wars. Okay, people will say, well, this has been going on since the beginning of time. You're going to hear more wars, rumors of wars, kingdom divided against kingdom, nation against nation. There's going to be famines, more earthquakes. Does that sound familiar with the earthquakes? There's been so many earthquakes over these past few years, beyond reasonable doubt. it says, will be brought up before kingdoms, councils, synagogues. Some of us will be beaten for the gospel's sake. Beaten, put in jail, tortured, they'll be killed. And this is happening right now in the Middle East. They are burning people alive, or they're crucifying them. They're putting them to death by drowning. There's so many things that are going on in the Middle East right now. You might think, okay, that's only in the Middle East, but it's coming our way. Because a lot of places, you can't hand out a gospel tract. You can't go door to door with that. You can't be Bible, as they would say, Bible thumping. We can't go in front of a mosque and start preaching. But they can come and blaspheme God at the churches. And I'm going to, for a minute, it says, you'll be hated of all nations for my name's sake. We already are hated by a lot of people, but in the Middle East, what's going on in Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, it's all over. Christians are hated. In China, look at China. That new president came in, they gave him exactly a year to take down all the crosses off every church. They consider an idol. I think almost all the crosses were already taken down. Look what happened in one town in Syria. They're making them pay taxes to Christians. You have 3 options by ISIS. You want to stay here, you have option. What is it? It's leave the country, get out. 2, renounce that you are a Christian and that you know Jesus Christ. 3, you can pay the taxes and obey their new law, which is the 11 commandments that they just made, mocking God. So you have 3 options there. Or you do none of it, you don't listen to them, and they kill you anyways, and you're dead because you're a Christian, and they definitely don't want that in the Middle East. All your churches are being destroyed in the Middle East. They're blowing them up. They're killing Christians. Christians are starving. It's a matter of time before it comes here. We've already been threatened several times. Look at China. The crosses, Middle East, they're killing us, they're torturing us. Even the United States, sooner or later, we're going to make it outlaw. You can't have a Bible. You can't pass no tracts in some areas, like Taylor, Michigan, I heard. And I don't care where I'm live on the internet and going on YouTube, because it's true. But anything that represents God is being stopped. And Jesus said, when these things happen, flee into the mountains. Don't come back and get what you have if you're in Judea. But this is also the rest of the world. When things start mightily happening, we already know the end times are here. It says in Matthew 24, that there'll be signs and wonders in heaven. That's been happening. The blood moons, the Star of David that was seen, the solar eclipse, the super moon. It's just so many signs that are happening. Could tell us the end times. The earthquake, the horrible weather, all these superstorms we now have. We never had supercell storms. They're unbelievable what's going on. But Jesus is saying, let you know this time is at hand. Then I'm jumping over into this, touching on the point, not going straight exactly verse to verse. Jesus said, beware for false Christ and false prophets, and shall show signs and wonders to even seduce the even elect, like of saints. If they thought they can actually fool us elect, they would. But God's not going to allow that. Your false Christ, here you go. El Baghdadi, whatever that nut's name, that is the leader of ISIS. It's going to give me a problem and I don't care. I believe he is the Antichrist for sure. He already has the mark of the beast. He's making a coin already that he ordered. He made the 10 commandments. He told the Muslims, he said, come to me, I am your God. All Muslims come to me. He's destroying, he's conquering. He's doing exactly what the Antichrist is supposed to do. There's other, what claims they're false gods or whatever, but no. Keep an eye on him because he's fulfilling everything. He's also a proven descendant of Muhammad. And that's your Muslim, whatever, your Islam, that's of the Antichrist, that's of Satan, the devil. I'm sorry, they worship 666, the image of the beast, and that's what's on their coin. Look at it closely, the coins that just came out. All these things are happening right now. So many people can't see what's going on. And I'm going to jump down now. And then it says, and all this is happening, and it's only going to get worse. Christians are going to be definitely tortured, killed, put in prison. Then it says, but in those days, after that tribulation, it says after the tribulation, a lot of people believe that we're going to be raptured up. Come up hither in Revelation 4:1. That is not the rapture of the church. That is the angel talking to John, coming up to take him to heaven to show him things that must come to pass. And Jesus said, but after that tribulation, the sun shall be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light. And the stars of heaven shall fall, and the powers that are in heaven shall be shaken. So it's going to be dark. The stars are going to fall out the sky. And then it says, remember, it says after. It says the same thing in Matthew. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in the clouds with great glory and power. So many people are deceived by tradition into thinking, oh, we're going to be raptured up. That word is not in the Bible, rapture. People make it to whatever they want to be. And verse 27 says, and then shall he send his angels, and shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from the uttermost part of the earth to the uttermost part of heaven. And we go down to verse 20. It says, now learn a parable of the fig tree. When her branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh. So ye in like manner, when ye shall see these things come to pass, know that it is nigh, even at the doors. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be done. The fig tree is nation of Israel. When they become a nation, know that the summer is nigh. You go back to Matthew 24. It says, knowledge shall increase. Technology, knowledge. There's so much technology, knowledge now, it's scary. All this is happening since Israel became a nation on May 14th, 1948. 70 years, that's pushing, that's coming up 2018. They will be 70 years old. Your average lifetime span is 70 years old. And says, this generation shall not pass till these things be fulfilled. He is speaking of the nation of Israel's generation from when they became a nation on May 14th, 1948. Says, heaven and earth shall pass, but my words shall not pass away. Jehovah's Witnesses believe that they're going to be here on earth. I talked to them some before. Said, where you going to go when you die? I said, you want to go to heaven? They said, no. I said, huh? They said, no, I'm going to be here on earth. I'm sorry. I started laughing. I said, what? We're going to destroy heaven and earth? God's going to destroy it. People don't know what's going on. Wake up. The end times are here. Yes, we are living in the last days right now. We are in tribulation. I won't say ifs, ands, or buts. We are in the last days. We're in tribulation. We ain't got much time. These nations, all nations need to turn to God, even though it's too late. He appointed the time. No matter what happens now, the end is coming. Jesus is coming soon. People need to get right with God, which is meaning not change your life and act like, I'm not saying be a holy roller. What I'm saying, get right with God, is to come to Jesus as you are. Fall on your knees, confess your sins, ask for forgiveness, and ask Jesus Christ to come into your heart and save you before you burn in hell for the eternity. Because eternity is forever. I am done.